and welcome back to the Vital Premier League podcast, which is not the Premier League podcast at the minute. Welcome. We are the writers for the Vital Network. You've got myself, Ash, who writes for Newcastle, Liam, who writes for Liverpool, Andy, who writes for Leeds, and Crippy, who writes for Man City. How are we doing, lads?
Good, cheers, Ash.
Good.
Good,
I
mate,
think
yeah, good.
we're actually live now. How cool is that? We did. After promising for 3 weeks, we are actually live, and I think that's mint.
Exciting times.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah,
more
good
exciting.
stuff.
More exciting than the World Cup, I think. How are we finding it in these weird times of having a World Cup in the winter?
Not so fired up. I'm not as fired up. I've enjoyed England, but yeah, it feels weird. It doesn't feel right at all that it's happening during the cold here in our winter. It just doesn't feel natural to me.
None of it feels right, does it?
No.
No.
But as we are a Premier League podcast, we will kick off with some Premier League news. And that is, bye-bye, Ronaldo. Just announced today he has parted company with Manchester United. How are we feeling, Liam? You've got a nice big grin on your face there, mate.
I'm just happy you got to use your nice little snazzy I don't know what you call it.
Just made little cue cards and that.
Yeah.
A little video printer, isn't it, kind of thing?
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see who he goes to. I said before,
Yeah.
I'd love for him to go to PSG for 6 months. Just imagine that from 4 of him, Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. It's just
Imagine
FIFA,
the
isn't it?
wage
FIFA and Football Manager dreams.
It'd be even funnier if you went to Man City.
I know you like me little cue card, but how about that there? There's Ronaldo getting turf.
Like jazz. Love it. Love it. I think he's going to go
proud
to
of
LA.
that one. Sorry?
I think America awaits Ronaldo now, probably, isn't it? He's already doing talk shows and whatnot, so he clearly wants to do more to his brand. So I think that's the next step for him.
I think that's probably where he'll end up. But I do like Liam's idea of once in Paris. Like,
I know. Imagine.
that sounds like a porno.
Well, it's his wages, isn't it? It's got to be a club that can pay him, because obviously Ronaldo's not going to take a pay cut again. So it's going to have to be someone that's willing to pay hundreds of thousands a week.
That's his biggest problem. I mean, Liam, you said to me, didn't you, straight up? Well, you didn't say it, but you put up the odds of where he'll end up next, and Newcastle were on that list. Hard pass from me. Thanks very much.
Yeah. Eddie Howe would not want to manage an ego like that, would he?
Not in his current state of mind, I don't think.
No.
Well, favourites was
Yeah.
Sporting Lisbon and Chelsea.
Wow.
That was at 10-6 this evening, man. So,
Do you think he would go to Sporting Lisbon now, or do you think he'd maybe do that after his next
Yeah,
career out there?
Yeah.
I kind of see him packing in like 6 months. Can you?
I don't know if he'll live back in Portugal, to be honest, at this moment in time. I don't know. I know obviously he's got family there. Eventually he will do, but I can't get beyond that America thing. And Paris would be a good place to live as well for him. But yeah, I think he's still got more. Yeah, still more before he does that.
Yeah. And then, like, following that announcement, the one just came on just before we went on air saying that the Glazers are now contemplating selling the club to try and raise more investment or
Wow.
something. So you never know. Man United fans might be getting their wish, but I can't see it happening. Can't see them stepping aside completely.
It's strange, isn't it? A club that big to sort of. I know they have spent some money on some players, but it is weird to think that United used to be the ones that were always getting the big buys, weren't they? And they were just behind Chelsea in 2003, and then behind Man City eventually. And it's strange to see them sort of lagging so far behind the other big clubs when it comes to how they move in the transfer market. And I guess now this might be a change of policy if they get new ownership. But the problem is with United, because they're so expensive, anyone that buys them will want a return. So they will run them as a business, and they'll look to make money through their branding, and they'll probably have more focus on the corporate side of things and how United carry their name overseas rather than results on the pitch in England immediately, I'd say.
And it's not like they're going to come up on the cheap. I mean, the Saudis got us for 350 million.
Yeah.
It would be like closer to 3 billion to get Man United. So, you can't just take a punt on that. You've got
no. It's a big investment, and you want that return.
The thing is, though, wherever he goes, he always generates money, doesn't he, with shirt sales and all that kind of stuff. So
True. Yeah, I mean,
And the tours,
was a lot
they'll do
of money.
tours, won't they, of like of the
Yeah,
Middle
brings a lot
East
of
and
money.
whatnot.
when
You
he
get
went,
those friendly games.
it was suddenly just like 1 million Japanese.
Yeah.
He's one of those names, isn't he? That's bigger than a lot of clubs.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
limits where you go, what you chuckling at, Liam? You're looking very.
Nothing. It's my sister. She's sending me a message now because she's watching. She's watching on Australia. So.
Tell her to get in the chat.
Get in the chat.
Never mind harassing you. Right then, so shall we go on to some World Cup business? And today, Argentina and Saudi Arabia.
I love it. I love it.
What is that?
I am on a mission today,
wow.
lads, with puns,
Been planning
That
that
is
all day.
superb.
images.
That is superb.
Thank you very much. I write for a living, you know.
That would be good for a newspaper, wouldn't it? A local newspaper pan. That is honestly, that's brilliant.
Total shipwreck newspaper headline. That
My
was.
editor would absolutely love if I did that. If I had that ability, I'd be very popular.
I always get praise off Paddy for my headlines. So you can shit right underneath them, to be fair.
It's good.
Right, yeah. So Saudi Arabia beating Argentina, like one of the favourites. Pretty mental. Andy, did you watch it? Oh, I know you watched some of it at least.
Yeah, I see. Well, majority of it I had a few bits and bobs going on, but I had it on my phone half the time. But something like Argentina have not lost in like 35 games in a row or something, haven't they?
Yeah.
Something crazy like that. Is it 35
36.
games?
36, I think
Yeah,
it is.
35
Yeah.
or 36.
It was like 2-3 years, wasn't it?
That's
Yeah.
just crazy.
I'd say
And
they're
then along come-
one of the favourites out there, and then just shows you anyone can beat anyone on the day, doesn't it?
I mean, Saudi Arabia bullied them towards the end, didn't
They deserved it, yeah.
Absolutely bullied them. The defence
Yeah.
at the end. I mean, they're showing it now on BBC as watching, but mental. Some of the saves they made, and I missed the first half because I didn't realise it was a 10 o'clock kickoff, and I didn't drag my fat ass out of bed until 11. So I missed all the disallowed goals.
Yeah.
But Andy, you were kind enough to supply these images.
Oh, yeah.
Offside.
Yeah,
How is
they did that a couple of times. I know. They did the armpit thing again.
I'm going to show that one. And right, yeah. So the handball rule is below the shirt line, isn't it? So anything above the shirt line can be deemed as being legal to play the ball. Therefore, that's offside. Is that how I'm interpreting it? Bit harsh,
that's what it is.
Bit harsh.
Seems ridiculous, doesn't it?
I don't know. Like, obviously, we're going to get onto VAR at some point now because
We always do.
It might come up.
Joke.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the Saudi game. I missed the other disallowed goals. Were they all as contentious?
One of them was obvious.
The offsides are bad. Yeah, some of the offsides are bad.
Yeah.
That was the one where Martinez, it was a decent finish as well, proper tidy. Don't you remember the Pele goal where he lets it run through his legs and he like dummies it around the keeper? It was similar to that, and I was like, oh, nice. But no, unfortunately, his armpit was offside.
I mean, I don't know. VAR and the offside rule, it's all just a big joke, really.
Well, even the penalty Argentina got was, for me, soft.
Yes, very soft. They were arguing, weren't they, in the studio about that? I don't know why I don't know how they thought it was a penalty. I thought that's not. We don't call for those. You know, that was as soft as they come. Really, I couldn't even see what the issue was at the time.
I don't think there's any consistency being applied towards penalties so far.
Oh, it's going to be garbage, isn't it? The holding thing is. They'll give them now in the group stages for holding and whatnot, but you know they're going to drop it when the games matter in the quarterfinals. They're not going to be giving them, are they? In tight games, if there's 5 minutes to go, no way is the ref going to give it if he's not sure. So, yeah, I can't see that being staying in the game.
I'm sure we're going to mention contentious penalties again as well when we're going to talk about England later on.
Yeah.
How are we seeing this one going on now? We've got France 2-1 playing out as we speak. I think we're all watching it, aren't we?
Well, but that Benzema, they're going to be a bit more beatable, aren't they, France? So,
well, saying that like where Rabiot and Mbappe are playing today. Well, Mbappe, Sky and one at the end of that.
And Giroud, I guess those two are a bad pair.
Yeah, Giroud still going strong at 36.
On Argentina's squad, I don't know if anyone had a look at their players, but I was surprised by that unbeaten run because I didn't think their squad was that good. Obviously, their attack is decent with Messi, but they've got a lot of old boys in that team now that aren't really top tier. You'd say, Otamendi and Romero. It's not a top tier partnership in the back. I wouldn't say. I know Tottenham
when
fans
they're playing
might.
like Peru and Bolivia and teams like that, it's a bit,
Yeah,
The last team they lost to was Brazil,
true.
that's why.
yeah. I think this team that went unbeaten for that long, I was like, I'm surprised by that because looking player to player, I think they look quite ordinary. They just rely on, Di Maria's magic and Messi's magic in attack, but the rest of them were very I thought that was quite interesting how well they'd done because I think I was looking at them as maybe pre-tournament favourites along with Brazil and Portugal and whatnot, but I think I'm going to sort of push Argentina to the side now and just focus on Brazil.
We can all agree that maybe not the favourites anymore.
I think so.
Saying that though, there's teams that have lost their opening group game and gone on to
Spain, didn't they?
Quite impressive, yeah. So
yeah.
It's not over for them. It's just
not
the best start. Who else have we had? We've had some crap games
today. Denmark and Tunisia.
Yeah, that was 0-0.
Wasn't terrible though. It was a scoreline, obviously, but a lot of good football. And both teams could have had a goal or two there. Tunisia looks pretty good, to be fair. They could be dark horses. They got something about them.
Mexico, Poland. That one was
not good.
Absolute dirge. Did you watch the opening game? Qatar and was it?
It was on
Ecuador.
TV.
Ecuador.
It was on the TV.
It's a song.
It was on the TV.
Yeah, that was about it for me. I was playing Call of Duty until halftime, and then I watched the second half.
I missed it as well.
I wish I just kept playing Call of Duty, to be honest. I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. It's what we like.
It's weird, isn't it? It came quite quickly after the last Premier League game, and it just it's not had the same. I'm not up for either emotionally.
I don't think it helps that 90% of what's being talked about isn't football.
I know.
It needs to be said. Don't get us wrong. But,
it just feels like 6 years too late. It feels like we let them. They won the bid, and I think we sort of didn't kick off enough really. Because it's like, oh, now we're annoyed. But it's like, but the tournament's here now. Everyone's here, so it's like it's going to go ahead. We've missed the trade.
Literally pissing in the wind now.
Yeah, but I saw John Oliver does that last week tonight.
Yeah,
I don't know if you watched that. I watched it on YouTube, and he did a fantastic spread about FIFA and how they knew of Qatar. Going into it, they knew after they won the bid, they knew before the bid and whatnot, So they didn't go into this blind at all when it comes to human rights and what they believe in. So FIFA acting like, oh no, we just want a football tournament. No, there's a lot of evidence that shows that they kind of laughed it off, the idea of gay people being out and proud in public, and they knew that was going to be an issue. So it's really sort of scummy on FIFA's part that they allowed that. Admitting that Qatar wasn't really fit to host because they didn't have stadiums ready and whatnot. So, really, if you haven't seen it, it's interesting to watch.
I'll have to give it a look.
Absolutely,
on the backtracking that was done as well. I mean, the alcohol in the stadium thing that was turned over the day before the stadium.
I was pretty sure they weren't going to be able to drink in the ground. That's such a huge thing, isn't it? There.
The One Love armband thing. That was
I don't get that with the armband thing where they're not wearing it because of the yellow card. I don't get it.
Everton to be relegated.
To be relegated. Wow.
Loving that hashtag.
Love it.
Such a nod. So confused as to what that was then.
I love it. Send some more.
Yeah, let's just much abuse thrown at Liam as you can.
Absolutely, yeah.
No, anyway, we were talking about quite serious things. Yeah, everyone's just tuning in. Yeah, so we're talking about quite serious stuff there. We got sidetracked. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying about
backtracking the
armband thing.
Yeah, that was pathetic. Weak on England's part.
I don't get it. When they say they're going to book them if they wear an armband, I don't get it.
I know. Let them get all be booked. That's the thing. It needs to be an effort from everyone, doesn't it? Not just some person going, "Oh, I don't know now," and dipping out. If you're going to go for it, go for it. But don't do the thing of, "Oh, we're going to make a statement," and then completely wuss out the minute you get some backlash from the FA or whatever.
Yeah.
It just looks pathetic.
How many people are going to take the top off when they score a goal in this tournament and get a yellow card for it?
Yeah.
You may as well put the armband on.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, it's just as equally a needless yellow card, so just might as well get it out of the way before kick-off.
Yeah, Denmark had rainbow colours on, didn't they? I think it was Denmark. They had rainbow colours on their shirts, so I think it was Denmark, but yeah, they did their own protests in their way as well. So they kind of made us look a bit stupid, really.
Don't Belgium the word "love" embroidered on the back of the shirt, and FIFA were trying to get them to take that off.
Wow.
I think it was actually inside, like an inside tag in the neck.
Yeah.
And they were trying to get them to take it out.
Wow.
It's a mad thing because if you're hosting a tournament and you're welcoming people to your country and say, "Yeah, everyone welcome here," you've kind of got to be open to everybody. You can't just say, "No, hold on a minute, we're going to still hold on to our bigotry here." It's like, well, yeah, but we're fans of the football, and football's meant to be a universal language. Everyone's equal, all as one kind of thing. So this is what I mean about FIFA. It just goes against the whole ethos of football that we're all fans who are all equal. If FIFA are just saying, "Oh yeah, actually, lads, don't wear that. We don't want to tick them off," kind of thing. Because it paints a basic human right as just a political opinion, which isn't what we believe as English people, is it? Obviously you can hold your views, but ultimately we believe that it's okay to be gay. We're not going to discriminate on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, as you was, we'll put that up in a second. As you were saying there about,
I've just seen it.
they have their beliefs, they have their systems. Who are we to go around telling people how to behave? Okay, we don't agree with the way that they go on. They do some very questionable stuff and hold some very questionable opinions. But like you say, if they're going to invite those people into your country, you'd have to be aware that is going to go on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course,
Like you say, they were given the opportunity to apply for the World Cup, and then they were given it. They've had plenty of time to discuss all this, make sure it's all ironed out and everything was going to be fine. And here we are, tournament's ongoing, and we're still talking about it because nobody has a clue how it's going to.
I think they left it to the last minute though, because they might have lost it if everyone kicked up a fuss about it all.
They should have lost it anyway.
It
should have been a first kicked up.
We know that.
I mean, there was it, but
what goes into the bidding process then? Because if they win it without any stadiums being ready, and like I say, with the human rights issues, and it's like I say, it's not even it's just opinions. It's studies will show when they've got rankings on where they rank with human rights abuses and whatnot as well. So it's like, what's a bad nation to host it in then? If Qatar are allowed it, and if there's a Winter World Cup because of the climate, everything they didn't really tick a lot of boxes, did they, to win a bidding one, and yet they won it, which is I think why people were so frustrated.
Looking forward to World Cup Guantanamo Bay. So who's going to be the surprise package of the World Cup? Well, I think Saudi Arabia already are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how far they go now or who gets to go into the next round. Saudi Arabia are the surprise package.
I think so.
Beat one of the favourites. But I don't know, judging by the other matches I've seen, everything else seems to be going almost according to plan. So,
the group games can be quite dull, can't they? Sometimes when you've got two sort of equal nations that don't have much in attack, it can be quite a dross affair, But yeah, Saudi Arabia really were exciting to watch.
Tell you what, Wales and USA.
I knew that was going to come. Yeah. I knew it. Wales really looked shell-shocked, didn't they? I'd never seen Wales play that badly in my life.
I mean, fair play to them. They turned it around in the second half, but they are just a Gareth Bale show.
Yeah. And he was quiet, wasn't he, for an hour or so? It was weird because they were playing sort of him and Dan James up front, who were just one speedster and one Bale. And it was like the ball wasn't even getting to them. So the quality of the ball was awful. And it was like, it's so obvious that you need to play to feet with the big man and then have those two play off him. But it took Robert Page, a good hour to sort of figure that out. I know we're not managers here, but
he realised putting Kiefer Moore on was the best thing for them, money, because it was just getting nowhere.
Yeah, Bale can't play like that. You can't just lump the ball to Bale in the end and expect him to do something with it, can he? He likes to play football. Same with Dan James. He's a very one-dimensional player with his running and whatnot. He works hard, but he's not. He's not a centre forward, is he? Really, he's a runner.
Speedboat without a driver. That's what it
exactly.
is.
Yeah, he is. But he's useful. If in the right role, he's very useful because of that. Because he's got a good engine and he's very fit. But yeah, it just played into USA's hands the way they set up. Really.
Yeah.
My God, Ramsey as well. He had a bad first half, didn't he?
Did Bale get man of the match? Wasn't he?
Did Bale get man of the match?
Yeah, he got man of the match. Yeah.
Oh, astonished! I don't know that at all.
Like saying, the Bale show.
Yeah, I thought USA were good value for the win. To be honest, I thought they were. They looked very good.
They're not as bad as we'd like to believe they are. The US.
It's weird, isn't it? I know. I was like, oh, me rooting for USA here. This doesn't feel right at all with football.
Yeah,
but they're going to be handy.
They're a young squad as well, aren't they? They're all quite young, aren't they? The players?
Yeah. That Weir as well. He's really good young prospects. They're a team to watch.
Sorry, Liam, are we disturbing you, mate? Having this
podcast? Well, one thing I'll mention now, though, is obviously with Saudis beating Argentina today, it just makes our win a lot better yesterday.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'm glad you said that.
I know it's Iran, but we should be putting 6 past them anyway. The same as Argentina should be putting 6 past.
Yeah, there we go.
We might as well get onto it.
Yeah, I agree. We think of the results we've had in tournaments before. We drew with USA. We had that Rob Green stinker. So look at an Argentina balled it to Saudi Arabia. So yeah, we would win that comfortably. Deserves credit because England don't have a history of that at all pre-Southgate. We'd always have a really good qualifying campaign, wouldn't we? We'd be great record, and then the minute we get into a tournament, it's just garbage.
Yeah,
the way around now with Southgate.
Yeah, I know. Bad Nations League.
Absolute garbage until it matters.
Yeah, but I'll take that. If we're going to be a good system team that get results in the tournaments, I'll absolutely take that.
Yeah,
I was happy with how we played.
That's the way.
Yeah.
I said last week that if we didn't put more than 2 past them, then we were screwed. So it was nice to see us get like 6 knock past them, but we shouldn't have conceded.
Oh, I know. 2 sloppy goals.
The penalty
that they got was a joke. Yeah,
penalty's a joke. Yeah, you can write that one off.
A tiny little shirt pull, and then there was Maguire getting DDT'd in the first half. I don't understand how the one that was more violent isn't a penalty.
Why do they call the ref over to look at it? And then when he looks at it, he's going to give it because he doesn't want to make all that effort to watch it and then go play on. He'll give it, and it's just it was so pathetic.
Hashtag Liam looks human.
I'm loving these hashtags.
This is awesome.
The abuse is superb.
Well, one thing I want to mention, Ash, is for the first goal, why is that Pickford's fault? Or not Pickford's fault? How could you criticise Pickford for that?
It's Maguire's, isn't it? Maguire lost his man.
Fishing?
It was Maguire's. I was just fishing.
Straight away, Nick Pope would have saved that.
He got you.
I had to say it, didn't I? But no, there's nothing he could have done. It was all Maguire's fault.
But why did he go off with like a head injury?
Embarrassment.
What happened? Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, I was like, hang on.
I did that as a kid. If I made a mistake, ankle gaffer, done my ankle in.
I had someone on my Twitter yesterday said, did they take that long with Harry Maguire's injury, thinking he had a concussion when really he's just thick as shit? How
bad was the goalkeeper that got polaxed and he was like trying to play on? I was like, mate, you are out of it.
Yeah.
His nose is like, I think
it was ballooned, didn't it? And you could see in his eyes he wasn't there at all.
Yeah.
And then you're a goalkeeper.
That's right, mate. Whoa!
You can't be a goalkeeper, can you? If you're not 100%, what was he thinking?
They put them tampons up, don't they, to try and stop it, and he was just.
He didn't like that, did he? He didn't like that at all. It took like 14 minutes to sort out. That was awful from the medical team. really was bad because they must have. They didn't.
Anyone.
Yeah, we could see from from the cameras that he was clearly like dazed and just not in the game at all.
I mean, I've had 20 pints and been able to walk on a better straight line.
It felt like that, when if you drink sitting down, then you stand up and it all goes to your head. That's what it felt like. That keeper, I was like, oh dear.
I'm totally
walk to the next pub.
yeah, you walk to the next pub and it's oh, I've got it. I've underestimated this.
Unbelievable. I don't know, but I want to just give a quick shout out to my boy Callum Wilson, though.
Fair enough.
Gloriously unselfish man.
Really was. I think if he'd been in the England squad longer, he would have shot. I think that's like first game nervousness, which is good. Yeah. It led to a goal, but when he feels more comfortable, he's taken that on.
And I give Jack Grealish a lot of shit, but his celebration and the story behind it.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I love it.
If you don't know, he promised a little kid that he'd do the celebration. A kid with cerebral palsy, and Jack Grealish's sister's got cerebral palsy as well.
Yeah.
And he promised his kid months ago that when the next time he scores, he'll do that celebration. And obviously, hasn't been scoring for City. Took it to Qatar, scored, and managed to do it on the world's biggest stage. So, top marks to the man. Still don't like him. But
the kid called in as well. I think they spoke to the kid and he was like, "Oh, he's my best mate. Love him." It was pretty cool. It was really cool.
Oh no, amazing. I don't not like him. I just when you see his face and there's not a single thought behind his eyes. And how does this man even function on a daily basis?
He's just that pretty boy, isn't he? He's that, yeah.
The thing is, though, you should love him because without Jack Grealish, Almiron would not be who he is today.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. I've got to give him some credit for that. I'm trying to think of any other talking points from our England game. I mean, there should be plenty. There was.
Well, I spoke to you boys before about I was doing a bit about Calvin Wilson, and I thought Mason Mount was brilliant. He's one person that always gets a lot of grief because his name doesn't quite fit in that team, does it? People want Foden, and I admit I wanted Foden to start as well, but Mount really shut me up, and it probably shut up a few people because I thought he was fantastic.
Mount was great.
He didn't put for long, does he? Really?
I thought Bellingham had a great game. Bellingham.
It was outrageous. Bellingham
he was my man of the match.
Yeah, by far.
The clamour for him.
It was just a run. Keep reminding the guys.
Liam's keeping his feet right on the floor here. Not letting himself get carried away.
When we get to the knockout stages and like he's putting in performances like that against, I don't know, who will we get? Is it
Saudi Arabia?
Saudi Arabia. Whoever it is, then fair enough, but it's Iran. They shouldn't be like, they're not even good enough to lace his boots, let's be honest.
But at least he made that quality count. He was turning over the ball a lot.
Liam. TV now?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the TV instead.
Give Jack a shout out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you logged in instead of using his girlfriend's phone, it'd be all right, wouldn't it? But... Tell you what. Under the thumb or what? But we'll answer his question though. He said, "Who do you reckon will make the last four?"
Oh yeah, good question.
So, Crippy, who do you reckon?
The thing is, I know who my top 4 teams are, but the way the structure is, they could play each other too early. So it's hard. I'd have to have a quick look at the table. But my top 4 teams, I would say, are Brazil, us, Portugal. And I'm torn on the last one there. I'm torn between like Belgium or I'm not sure.
France,
what do you guys think? I know. Why am I slagging off France so much? I slagged them off earlier as well. They're the reigning champions. I just can't see it. I've got shade of 2002 again, Ash. I just don't see it. I just can't.
I'm the same mind.
They win a tournament and then they bottle it in the next one.
France are brilliant, but in my head, they're not a footballing nation. I don't know why, because they clearly are, and they're fantastic at it. And given how many French Newcastle players there's been, but something in my head just goes, no, they don't play football in France.
I guess France, Put France as my 4th. France, England, Brazil, and Portugal.
I just think you can never rule out the Germans. They're always there or abouts.
Yeah, true. What about the Italians? Oh!
Nearly scored. Nearly a goal there.
Still cannot believe the Italians aren't even at the World Cup.
It's weird, isn't it?
I'm
Get off your
driving.
bloody phone, man.
I love this back and forth. It's brilliant.
My top 4. I don't know. Yeah, it's got to be Brazil. Got to be in there.
Yeah.
Still probably my favourites to win it.
Yeah, same Ash.
England, yeah. I don't see why not.
Goal.
Yeah. France. France.
Hashtag
Sorry,
spoiler
Ash.
alert.
Yeah, I forget Ash is miles behind.
For some reason, my stream's proper late.
I've really got to stop slagging France off. What am I thinking?
I've got to go
they're
with
good.
France.
Yeah, they're good, aren't they? Good.
Well, now he's just scored. I'll go with France. But I swear we play them in like the quarters or the last, whatever it is, and I think we'll beat them. I don't care. It's coming home. There's only Brazil.
I'd love it if it did.
And Richarlison, that's going to stop us.
Vinny.
Richarlison.
It's going to be Vinny and Neymar.
R9.
Oh, what's a good header from Mbappe?
I'm still waiting for this France goal to go in.
Oh, it's a good one.
I'm so far behind, it's ridiculous. So, I think I'm still watching World Cup 98, actually.
It's like that Twitter account, Slow Sky Sports News.
Yeah. There it is.
Right, who's yours then, Andy? Who else we got? Anyone got like a random country in there?
I'm not sure about who plays each other, how it could work out, but I think Brazil will be there.
Yeah.
I fancy us to be there. Like I say, Germans, I can never write them off.
Right.
And I reckon maybe someone, sort of a bit of a surprise, maybe someone like Portugal or someone might sneak in there somewhere.
I think Portugal could.
Yeah.
There's obviously a fair few teams who haven't even seen play yet. So.
Yeah. That's it, we don't know yet.
It's hard to say. One thing we have seen a lot of, and we've mentioned it a few times, is VAR worse in the World Cup than it has been for the Premier League? I know that
it's just awful in any competition.
Yeah. We should just change this to the VAR podcast because that's all we ever talk about. But you look at England's the penalty not given and the penalty that is given, the offside by a shoulder, all these random little things. And what was the one where the ref had to go over and view with the softest penalty ever?
Yeah.
That was
us, wasn't it?
One.
That was us, wasn't it? With Iran.
Yeah, it was us. Yeah, but you had to run
John Stone's shirt pull that somehow they think is enough to give it, despite the fact that he fell like forwards, even though he's being pulled back. And I love that. Baffling.
Did any of you make any changes to the 11? Yeah, that one. Yes, hashtag Pickford out. Pope in for sure.
Sterling always gets a lot of grief, doesn't he, in the England team? But I think he deserves to stay in. He looks good.
I think Sterling's better in an England shirt than he is in
Me too.
Me too.
Saka was good.
Just won 6-2.
Exactly. Yeah, I think he keeps it.
Yeah,
we win against USA, then you can change your team against Wales and rest some players.
Exactly.
Aren't we?
Yeah.
And that's that's what I've been saying all week with regards to Callum Wilson. That I was thinking the only chance he'd get is in the third group game if we've won the other two. So I was surprised to see him come on Monday.
Well, it's because of Kane's ankles, isn't it? You have to rest Kane. You can't push Kane too much because if there's not many players like him. Someone that can hold the ball up as a playmaker, but also still be a threat. So you really have to. If you're winning a game comfortably, just get him off the pitch straight away. Get Callum Wilson on, and just stretch a team.
Hopefully, he'll get more game time against Wales if we see off USA.
Yeah, which we should.
One thing I'll mention now, just because he keeps putting the comments in, along with France just scoring a 4, is Jack went to his first ever game at Anfield. Oh no, it wasn't his first ever game at Anfield. He went to Anfield the other week. When they drew against Derby 0-0. All the way to Liverpool to watch them draw 0-0 for Derby, and he won on penalties. And he was on work the next morning at 7 o'clock.
Oh God,
it was brilliant.
I've been to Villa Park to watch my beloved Villa play in a midweek game, and it was 0-0 to like the 85th minute, and then we finally got a late winner. But it was cold, wet, just some of the worst football you've ever seen in your life. And there were so many empty seats as well. So until the last minute winner, it was fine. But I had to quickly run home to get the train, so I couldn't even enjoy it. So just I've been
when
there
I was
before.
in Huddersfield, we played them And Richarlison scored after 2 minutes, and I was still stuck outside trying to get in. It was the only goal of the game. We won 1-0, and I missed it.
I think that's definitely some podcast material there, like nightmare matches that we've
I know.
Oh, there's fourth.
Oh, you saw that. I didn't want to say anything, Ash. But yeah, it's a
Liam spoiled it.
Very underrated player.
Right, and another thing that's going on at the old World Cup there is who's in charge of stoppage time? Who's this magic time manufacturer that's coming up with a stoppage time allowance?
I've got a big gripe about this.
I think 6 minutes is probably the least I've seen held up so far.
Yeah.
Have they introduced a new rule where every time the ball goes out to play, that gets added on?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I've just said stop the clock. We know that the football is off the football's dead for like half an hour of the game. I think it is on average, roughly. Yeah. So if you did half an hour halves each way, stop the clock every time the ball goes out. That's pretty much what it is now. So you wouldn't have any time wasting. It'd be perfect because the minute the ball goes out of play for a free kick, the clock has stopped. So it doesn't matter how long a goalkeeper takes or whatever. There's no, they're not running the clock down at all. Same with substitutions. So it'd be a really good way to just completely kill that dead. But I know it's a controversial opinion because it's an Americanized idea and the people are resistant to that. But I think that's one thing the America have got right, really, is having the clock just stop when it's dead. Yeah. Because think how many times we waste time with subs and goalkeepers going down to collect a pass and they stay on the deck for like 12 seconds and whatnot. And it would just completely kill the debate of stoppage time, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
It seems mad having 40 minutes at the end, doesn't it? Like, it seems so weird.
It's got to be better than that.
We'll go back to a thing like in rugby, same as the VAR in rugby. Or even the ref just shouts time off and they put the time off until it starts again and then he says time on.
Yeah. I really do think it might be something they introduce in the future, stopping the clock. I hope they do. I think it would work really well.
I mean, obviously, in the England game, there was enough downtime when they were trying to piece together the keeper's nose. So, yeah, fair enough, decent amount for that game. But any other game that is like devoid of incidents, yet they're still coming out with 6 minutes at least.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't want to sidetrack too much from that opinion, but also, do you think there should be, because you mentioned about the goalkeeper, do you think there should be concussion subs like in rugby? Or they have like blood subs, don't they, in rugby or something? Where you could have, you could sub someone on and then sub them back off again, maybe.
Yeah, you can interchange. They could take them off and bring the same person back on.
I think then you could really look at them on the sideline and make a decision if they're good enough to come back on. It would just stop players lying, wouldn't it, about their condition?
Yeah, definitely.
When they said they were bringing in concussion subs, I thought that's what it was going to be.
Yeah.
Just taking them off for the rest of the game. What have we got here? Game finished 0-0, but we progressed to the next round on pens. My next question is, what was the Everton result in the game?
Well, we played our reserves.
I feel like Liam's the only one of us that has any friends here.
I know. No one cares about me.
It's mad, right?
I mean, with friends like that.
Who needs enemies?
At work. He never does this much at work. It's just weird.
My friends would just be swearing in the chat. I think they'd be like immature little children.
Yeah, to be fair, so would mine.
It's probably best they don't come along.
Was that Garan Qual who's just come on for Australia?
I missed that.
I've just been given some content to write about.
Oh,
is he number 11?
He's the number 21, I think.
No, he's number 11. This kid that's come on.
So he's 21 then. Yeah, he's the 18-year-old that Newcastle are signing in January.
Nice.
18 now. He was 17 when we agreed. He's meant to be amazing, so I just wanted to keep an eye on him in the World Cup.
France have just brought on what's his name? Not Kingsley Coman and Fofana.
Yeah.
What am I thinking? Not ruling out France. They've got so much depth. What am I thinking? The more I watch this game, the more I think I'm an idiot.
You got Kingsley Coman on the bench.
That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Pure madness.
I know. They've got Griezmann, Dembele, Giroud, Mbappe. Just that team's good. It's so good.
That substitution was number 21, Garang Kuol. Is it Kuol?
Yep, Garang Kuol. He's the one who's signing for Newcastle.
Oh, yeah, come on, 74th minute, yeah.
He's
Actually, you might want to tell off now, Ash, because someone's just gone down injured. Number 21 as well.
shut up.
Oh, that's so bad. Look at his leg; it's the wrong way.
I don't like you anymore. Yeah, that would be our luck, though. You probably will end up getting his leg snapped. So, one final question before we go: Is it coming home?
We have to be considered. No, but we have to be considered. I think I love Southgate, and I think he's got a lot of grief from people that expect a lot from him, despite the fact that England don't have a good track record in tournaments. But I do think we have one of the best squads, and there's no reason why we shouldn't be in the last four.
Agreed. Liam, what are you thinking?
Yeah, no, it's got to. They've got to the semis, got to the finals. They've lost on penalties. They've done everything. They've won on penalties. This is the next stage for them.
Just obviously with you being Mr. It's Only Iran, I thought you were going to be downplaying England's prowess at the World Cup.
No, I mean, again, when it comes to the knockout stages, it gets more entertaining, doesn't it? It gets more, get more involved in it. But it's Iran. We should be beating them. It's America. We should be beating them. And it's Wales. It's Gareth Bale. That's it. We should be beating them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Andrew, are you in agreement?
Yeah, pretty much spot on. Yeah, I reckon we've definitely got to be considered. We've got to be with a chance.
Yeah.
What would be like the furthest we could get without winning it, but we'd still be happy? Would we have to get to the final?
Semis for me. I'd be satisfied with.
Happy with the semis.
Yeah.
I think
I'd be
happier. Who we'd lose to.
I think I'd be happier going out in the semis than losing in the final again, because that's.
Oh yeah, that hurts. Yeah,
that was awful.
Yeah.
I'd like to think if we got to the final again, Southgate wouldn't be as defensive. He's done the semis where we went 1-0 up and went defensive. Got to the finals, we went 1-0 up. Went defensive.
Our best thing is to attack, isn't it, Liam? It is. Our attack is the best.
Exactly. I mean, our defence is shit. We've got Harry Maguire. maybe that's why Harry Maguire is being picked. It's just a case of like, look, we'll put you in because then everyone in front of you has to raise their game to protect you and to protect us from being as crap.
He's just a lump from set pieces, though, isn't he? He's a beast from him. He's good at forward passing and bringing the ball out of defence. He's really good at that because he used to play as a forward in his youth. So he's confident on the ball and he wins the majority of headers from corners. But when it comes to tracking his man, my God, the basics he gets wrong. And it'll cost us against a good team. Well,
Yeah.
The thing is, with the players we've got going forward, people should be favoring us, not the other way around.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Armbands are being booked. Pass the armband to each player.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Pass the armband around and then
merry-go-round.
That would definitely make a statement.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'd probably end up with about 6 players on the pitch at the end of the game.
Just as long as it's not a One Love armband.
I think that's what they mean, isn't it? Put the One Love armband on, and everyone gets to wear it, and everyone gets booked.
Right. Yeah. See, I didn't read that properly. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, give it a go. Yeah.
They'll do it in the final, won't they? Whoever gets to the final needs to grow a pair and just put it on, or as the lift in the World Cup. As the lift in the World Cup.
Yeah.
That'd be a statement.
Yeah.
That's it. There you go.
Get on the blow at Everton and get that rainbow kit that they've got for the Pride thing.
I wish we'd
and wear that for the final.
You remember when we had the European Super League? I wish they tried to do that with the World Cup and just try to get some nations to sort of defect and do their own thing on the side and just say F you to FIFA. That'd have been. I know they never would because it's just so much money involved, but it would have been such a statement if they could get a few close nations. If England could get a few close nations to say, yeah, we're not going to participate, and just to call their bluff, just see how far they go.
No, exactly. Yeah, they've got. At the end of the day, FIFA have got so much power that they think that they're untouchable, and nobody's doing anything to challenge them on that notion. That's why Russia and Qatar got the World Cups, because nobody was going to turn around to FIFA and say, "No, I will not go in." Then, no. In this modern times where everyone's protesting about everything, it's just baffling to me that this got as far as it did.
All boils down to money again, doesn't it? That's what it boils down to.
Sadly, yeah.
Yeah, it certainly does.
It's lucrative for FIFA.
I think we've covered every point I had. We're going to mention all the new managerial appointments in the Premier League that we forgot last week, but I've forgotten who they all are. I remember Nathan Jones from Luton's gone somewhere in the Premier League.
Southampton.
Southampton.
Yeah.
Wolves have got a new manager.
Oh, Lopetegui.
Lopetegui.
Manager, isn't it?
Really good. That's a really good appointment, that.
But why has he gone to Wolves?
Yeah. Well, where's he been for the last God knows how long?
Didn't he have the most unluckiest time ever when he was he the guy that he was at he was managing Spain and he was going to go to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
That's how I know his name. Yes.
And then he got sacked. He brought it to Spain, and then Real Madrid didn't. They didn't hire him or something because he lost a job at Spain because he was
back on the agreement.
He was fraternising with Real Madrid. It was all set up for him to be like a star manager, and it all went pear shaped.
You had heard his name somewhere. I don't know. I just want the Premier League back, lads. I miss it.
Bielsa nearly went to Bournemouth, apparently.
That was the other one, yeah. Bielsa and Bournemouth. That was close. Because you were crying, weren't you, mate?
Yeah, that would have upset me. That
just a little bit, a couple of tears.
See, Kiefer Moore turned into prime Ronaldo.
Denali, he's not far off it. For Wales yesterday, terrorised USA.
Yeah.
Right. So now we know how to live stream, lads, and I've got all these fancy graphics and that to play with. I think we should do this again.
Yeah,
I agree. I'm up for it.
I think I might see if I can change the intro videos. All those Premier League badges were just making me upset at the start of it. So I'll do.
We have to change the time as well because obviously England next Tuesday, isn't it? At 7.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's good thinking.
Watch out.
So we'll do it at full time then.
Yeah, 9 o'clock. Yeah,
that's fine, mate.
Yeah, so we'll be back live next week at 9.
Proper raw reaction.
We'll see if we can get more of Liam's awesome mates in or terrorising. But no, thanks for that, Jack.
He won't be sending the link out next week.
No, he'll be quiet. He won't say a word. We're not on. I don't work for him anymore.
Oh no, this has been good. I've enjoyed my bits off. So thanks again, lads, and for those of you watching, please hit the subscribe button, and we'll be back next week at 9 o'clock after England thrash Wales. Thanks very much.
USA.
Cheers, lads.
Next week.
USA
is Friday.
Wales. My bad. Yeah.
You deserve all the grief you've got. See you later.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.